Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now here on the show talking about some NBA news, and we got some two, I guess, big topics to start off here with Bradley Beal. And Bradley Beal is out tonight due to a back injury. No Big 3 debut for Phoenix tonight. Thought tonight would be the night for a Phoenix Big 3 debut, but Bradley Beal's out again with a back injury. I thought he was playing, apparently not. This is about to be the Big 3 the Nets all over again with no one being healthy and being out there. Bradley Beal has played like, 2 games this year? Like, it's getting annoying now. He just has that bad player attitude towards the game and doesn't play a lot. Like, he played like 2 or 3 games this year, and we may never get a single game with this Big 3. Like, is he just resting? Like, what's the problem here? Like, what's the problem with Bradley Beal and his back? Are they just can't even show up for the trio debut, man? But I'm not surprised. He just seems to always somehow be out. I just don't get it. Why he's missing so many games. So after that fight last night with the Warriors and Timberwolves, Draymond Green putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold. Basically, had some breaking news from Woj. The NBA, they announced they are suspending Draymond Green for 5 games per ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. So we're gonna have 5 games now without. Well, I don't know if Curry will be out for the 5 games, but now we're gonna have Draymond and Curry tomorrow. Yeah, we're losing to the Thunder. But I fully expected Draymond Green to get suspended, honestly. So 10 games or 5 game suspension. I mean, I think it's fair. But maybe it could have been more games. Could have been more games. I mean, you could argue that it could have been like 10 games. That's really what I thought it would be. Because, yeah, I get he's probably defending Klay Thompson, but you just can't do that at the end of the night. He shouldn't have done it. But it's Draymond Green. Emotions are in high. It's Draymond Green in a nutshell. But it's gonna be a big loss for the next 5 games. A key hit to this Warriors team that's already struggling as it is. I swear, every time Curry's out, Draymond always finds a way to have something happen. And now he's suspended 5 games. So, Glenn Big Baby Davis has been found guilty on multiple charges. Yeah, remember he played the Celtics legend, Glenn Big Baby Davis? He's found guilty on multiple charges, including healthcare fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracies to commit false statements, healthcare fraud, and wire fraud, per at Sports Taxman. I mean, Glenn Davis is going to be going to jail. Why does a former NBA player need to do this, bruh? I mean, he probably ran out of money. When you go to making millions to making thousands, it hurts, so he probably like, I'm gonna try and basically steal a lot of money. But a bunch of ex-NFL guys got popped for this too, so sadly this is kind of a common thing. But he's cooked. He got found guilty on every type of fraud under the sun. Well, not tax fraud, but pretty much every fraud you could have got, like, you know, healthcare fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit false statements, stuff like that. So, yeah, he's cooked. He's done. So, Kendrick Perkins on via ESPN NBA, his top 5 guards in the East. He named Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton, Drew Holiday, DeJounte Murray, and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has not played guard since 2019. Calling Jimmy a guard is crazy. He's been playing the forward. He doesn't even play small forward. He plays like power forward. Jimmy Butler's not a guard, and Donovan Mitchell's become extremely underrated. I don't know why he's not here. Jimmy Butler's not a guard anymore. And I would take Drew Holiday off here and put Donovan Mitchell. He's become a pretty underrated player. Carmelo Anthony is launching a podcast with the Kid Mero. Quote, the retired NBA star will team up with the Kid Mero to host 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, a digital series and podcast that said premiere December 7th. The show comes from Wave Sports Plus Entertainment, the company behind athlete and sports-driven shows like New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce, Podcast P with Paul George, recently relaunched the Right Time with Bomani Jones, and a host of digital and social media brands. And Carmelo doing good after league. You love to see it. Feels like everybody has a podcast now. So we had some breaking news today with Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson has been dismissed from his job at MSG, and the Knicks have banned him from the team playing, per Andrew Marchand. MSG Network planned on having Jackson occasionally fill in for Clyde Frazier this season, but Knicks management, led by team president Leon Rose, put a kibosh on the arrangement, in part due to an old quarrel with Jackson and an assistant coach, according to sources. This seems pretty excessive for the New York Knicks. I mean, what happened to the game I love? I mean, every star athlete should take note how MSG and New York treat their former legend. First Oakley, now then Patrick Ewing, now Jackson. Wonder who's going to be next that they'll treat like garbage. Trace Halliburton this season is first in assists and 55th in turnovers. He's the best point guard in the league when it comes to playmaking. Like, he can score and he can assist. Rarely turns the ball over. So, police have stated that the surveillance footage reviewed to date from the reported hit and run involving Kelly Oubre Jr. is not showing any indication of an accident happening at the Center City Junction where Oubre said he was struck on Saturday night, per at Popeye and Sixers. A source familiar with the situation said that Oubre may not have provided an accurate account of where the crash originally occurred. I mean, he's been in Philly for 2 months. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't know where he was at. But the comments are making like he was lying, but, like, sometimes you get confused where you are. Move like 2 months. You've been in Philly for 2 months. It's not like you know where you are. I mean, maybe he's confused. He got hit by a car. And he also just moved there. It's not like he's familiar with the names of every place. I mean, it's hard to tell the situation. He just moved to Philly like 2 months ago. Especially somebody new to the area in a city with, a reckless driving problem may not know where it's at. But I don't know the full thing situation. So NBA.com's that day rookie ladder, they have Victor Wembanyama at 1, Chet Holmgren at 2, Ausar Thompson at 3, Jordan Hawkins at 4, Derek Lively at 2nd at 5, Brandon Miller at 6, Jaime Jaquez at 7, Keontae George 8, Bilal Coulibaly at 9, Marcus Sasser at 10. Zach LaVine has, quote, never gotten over Billy Donovan bitching him late versus Orlando Magic on November 18th, 2022, per at KCJ Hope. His stats this game was a 1 of 14. He's still hurt over a November regular season game from 2022 when he was 1 of 14. That's crazy. So, Zach LaVine, when asked if he wants to leave Chicago right now, quote, right now is not the time to really talk about that, end quote. Yeah, he wants to leave. He's going to talk about it after he gets traded up. Just watch. He's going to get traded. So, James Harden talked about the Clippers. It's kind of funny, quote, when we figure this out, it's going to be scary, end quote. Eyes emoji. James Harden on the Clippers. Who's going to tell him, man? You ain't won a game yet. This new team. Whatever, dude. We don't believe that. Nobody's scared of James Harden. And James Harden also fired back at Mavs broadcaster Brian Demers. He doesn't know me or the situation. That would be fucked up if I went at him and started being disrespectful to him. But I can't. They don't know anything. They just go, all what they say in social media or hearsay. Mavs reporter was right, though. You demanded to get traded 3 times. He literally just stated facts. There's no bias or opinion. It's just facts. James Harden just can't handle the facts. So don't look for Zach LaVine to wind up with the Philadelphia 76ers prior to the Steinlight. It appears more feasible that teams such as Miami or the Los Angeles Lakers rather than Philadelphia could emerge with substantive trade interest in LaVine, since those teams have a clear need for an offensive infusion. Well, I mean, they already have Tyrese Maxey, so what makes sense to get Zach LaVine? So, Pat Bev called out Kate for not having Rudy Gobert's quote. I taught you better than that. I mean, I get it, but he probably didn't want to get ejected from the game. Some of Anthony Davis's defensive matchups this season: KD 6 of 14, Bam 4 of 11, Franz Wagner 4 of 11, Nurkic 3 for 9, Banchero 3 of 7, Jared Jackson Jr. 4, and Biyombo 0 for 4. I mean, Bam's the only one that's had a good game against Anthony Davis. Nobody else has really shot well against AD this year. Rudy Gobert thinks Draymond Green aimed to put him to sleep, but says Draymond isn't skilled at choking. He's grabbing me. But the choke wasn't good enough. Yeah, it wasn't enough for me to really have to go to sleep, but he tried. He tried really hard, but it wasn't good enough where I felt like I was really in danger of falling asleep or something like that. I mean, I don't think he was trying to choke him out. He's just really talking too much at this point. I don't think he's really trying to choke him out, put him to sleep. So Dyson Daniels' defense on Luka Doncic last night, he was 3 of 9 with 4 turnovers. Dyson Daniels is really good defensively. James Harden says he's still trying to get into, quote, James Harden's shape. I keep reiterating, I didn't have a training camp or a preseason, so kind of learning on the fly. Also getting myself into James Harden shape. Last night was definitely another step in the right direction. Just keep improving via the AP. James Harden shape. Yeah, James Harden being fat. Since he left Houston, it's all hype at this point with James Harden at times. So, Rudy Gobert called out Draymond Green. He thought before the game that Draymond wouldn't want to get ejected, because he doesn't like playing without Curry. Basically said. And after the game, Tyler Ford labeled Rudy Gobert as a peacemaker and believes he didn't deserve an ejection. I mean, didn't look like Gobert had any ill intentions, to be honest, compared to what, Draymond did. Paul George believed the Clippers were playing 8v5 last night. It's tough, the adversity of playing against the extra 3. I thought they were awful, in quote. I mean, he got a wedgie to try and tie the game. He thinks every freaking call's bad. He also missed a dunk. And tries to freaking cry. Clippers are always crying. Now, the Clippers, with their loss last night, have been mathematically eliminated from winning their in-season group term. Can't even win the in-season tournament. That's crazy. Can't even win the freaking in-season tournament. PJ Washington, Miles Bridges return. He's expected to return, I believe, Friday. Oh, I can't wait for y'all to see him. PJ Washington, Miles Bridges return. Lock him up. Lock him up. Bones Hyland says he does expect to receive a championship ring from the Denver Nuggets per at V. Bendado. Well, they don't have a choice. I thought you have to give it regardless. Don't you have to do that? I think it's the team's choice, but maybe not. Ty Lue says he doesn't plan on bringing Russell Westbrook off the bench. Well, he's not the issue. It's James Harden. The Heat, Lakers, and Sixers are expected to consider a trade for Zach LaVine, because Zach LaVine is confident Chicago can still turn the season around, he said, but I don't think so, because he's going to get traded, honestly. Ben Simmons is experiencing some nerve irritation on the lower left side of his body, and is expected to miss some time per his agent. And we're back with Ben Simmons being out. DeMar DeRozan wants to see where the team goes before committing to a new contract with Chicago per Sam's training. He's going to waste his career if he stays there. Now, the Chicago Bulls could be on the verge of blowing up. One league source told me this week the Bulls won't have the same roster in a month. Changing feels imminent in Chicago. Wouldn't surprise me, because the Bulls and Veen are open to exploring potential trades. But, I don't know. Netflix has shown some interest in acquiring rights to the in-season tournament. I don't know, really like 50 ads, God no. But yeah, it's all to say for this video, so until next time, like, peace.